Hello class 8. Today we are in the new chapter. This chapter number 8 is called as Computer Ethics, Crime and Security. So in this chapter we will be learning about the several computer ethics we have and the different kinds of crimes that is related with the computer, as well as how to secure our computer that is connected to a network. As we all know that we are all in the age of computers. In this world, everything is done with the help of computer nowadays. Nowadays, we can see that computers are used in every field, each and every field. You name, and all those fields will be having computer. So name a few. Computer can be used in the field of education. Computers are used in the field of business, manufacturing, entertainment, designing, entertainment, and the most important, research and development. If you see, computer plays a very important role in all of this. Not only this, there are so many other fields also where we can see the use of computers. Education, to name the first one, which has seen a very important role to be played in this pandemic age. In today's age, as you know, all of us are dependent on the computer for education, students as well as teachers. In business also, nowadays online business, online shopping, everything is done with the help of computer and internet. In earlier days, all the manufacturing work was done manually by people manually, but nowadays all those things are replaced with computers. They are done by robots, and all those robots are controlled by a computer. Designing, several kinds of designing of the cars, designing of the vehicles, designing of buildings, bridges, weapons, medicines, everything, whatever you think of, all those designing nowadays is done with the help of computers. Computer plays an important role in the field of entertainment also. There are several different forms of games, and different computer entertainment channels are there through which we can do it. And lastly, this research and development. In this field also, computer plays a very important role. Now in this pandemic era, the research for the vaccine for COVID-19 coronavirus, that is being developed, and for that also the use of computer is very important. So there are so many things that we have to keep in mind regarding all of this. Now let's talk about the computer ethics. Now, computer ethics is a very important term, and some of you might be aware of the term computer ethics already. Computer ethics are actually the beliefs and the rules. Means a kind of behavior which we show. Like all of us have got some kind of ethics at home. Like suppose you are sitting and somebody elder gets inside your room, then what will do? You'll stand up. That is a ethic. This ethic shows what is wrong or what is right. So ethics are very important in our day-to-day life. This shows how well mannered you are. Now in the field of computers also, there are so many different unethical, that is ill-mannered activity being done by different group of people, and you can say these are the criminal activities. So they do it in so sophisticated way, so complicated way. Some of the time it becomes very difficult for us to find out whether it is actually right or wrong. Sometimes we think the thing that is already being done in the unethical way is right, so it is made in that way. So let us talk about the computer ethics. Now, computer ethics is, as I already told you, it's a rule and the belief. And in computer ethics, what happens is when somebody is already doing it wrong, then nobody can see it, because like when I'm doing something in front of computer, sitting at home, nobody sees me whether I'm doing it correctly, legally or illegally. But it becomes our duty that that particular thing has to be done in the legal way, and that is the ethics. So there are so many ethics that we need to follow. There are so many different morals as well as the ethical issues. So children should be aware of that. We should always be, we should always think what is right or what is wrong, what is to be done correctly, legally, or what is to be done illegally. There are always two sides of the same coin, and there is a demon, there is there are always two sides of the same coin. One is the bad part and one is good part. So we should always be able to judge what is good. There is also a social responsibility. We should always be able to develop a good sense of social responsibility. There will be people who will be violating the different kinds of rules of our society for money or sometimes just for fun. So there should not be, you should not be, or we should not do anything of that sort. So there are so many computer ethics or the ethical issues. Let me say the ethical issues that we have in our world or in the world of computer nowadays, and we are going to discuss that one by one. The first ethical issue or ethical issue that we have is the intellectual property right. Now, intellectual property right is a very sophisticated kind of rights which we have. Some of you may be aware of this already, and some of you may not. Now, let us think. Let us take one example. This is your property. This is your property. Is your home. Home is your property. Okay. Apart from home, you might have so many other properties. You might have a car, or you might have computer. You might have a mobile phone. All those are your property. You have bought it. So you have got a right over that property. It is protected by law. It's protected by law automatically. Now, if somebody comes and destroy your house, then you can file a case against that particular person. Somebody broke your mobile phone, you can file a case against, because that is a property and it is protected by law. Now let us talk about some other kind of property which we have. Let's say the property which you have inside your mind. Like you have got an idea of discovering something, or you have got an idea of inventing something, or some kind of artistic work or some other things. Then whether that is protected by law or not, yes, that is also protected by law. This is called as intellectual property right. So rights are all protected by law, whether it's a physical property or the intellectual property. Now, intellectual property rights contain your literary works, like all the literary works, the kind of idea of writing a poem or story or song, all those kind of things that comes from your mind, that is all protected by law. That is intellectual property rights. Some kind of invention, like suppose you are trying to invent something, and that idea which is there in the mind, that is also an intellectual property. Discoveries as well as the artistic work. Sometimes you have got you have got the artist inside you, and you have got the plan of creating art of something or discovering something, literary and the invention and all this kind of things. They are all the kind of ideas that comes from your mind, that is from the intellectual area. So that particular right is called as intellectual property right. The same way your house is protected, that physical property is protected, this kind of idea is also protected by law, and that law is called as the intellectual property rights. And the next ethical issue what we have is called as copyright. Some of you might be aware of this particular symbol, a C inside a circle. It means that all rights reserved. This symbol is widely used in books. You might see it in your book, in the front page of the book, or the last or the cover page of the book, or you might also see it in the other places, the place where the name of the company is written in some kind of products, or the music CD or the software CD, etc., etc. This means, some of you may be confused, copyright doesn't mean the right to copy. Copyright means you are not allowed to copy whatever is there in that particular place. So copyright is actually a law, and that law shows or tells that you are not allowed to copy whatever is there in that particular product. Suppose if it is a book, you are not allowed to copy without the permission of the owner. Okay, so you might see this kind of symbol in each and every product in the book and the others. Now sometimes it becomes you might have a situation that you need to copy a certain part of that book or certain part of the material or the photo that you are using it from the internet. Then what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to thank that particular person, or you are supposed to acknowledge the author sincerely, and that acknowledging the particular source from where you got that picture is called as referencing. So this is how you can do the referencing. This is the place where you have used that picture, and this picture you need to write from where you got that picture. So this picture, you see, from P. Armstrong 2016, Vogue, copyright 2016 by Vogue, reprinted under fair dealing. So this is the picture what they have used. This was used like this. So this is a very, very important ethics. That is your manner. That is thanking the owner. And the next topic what we'll be talking about is called as a software piracy. I hope some of you are already aware of the term software piracy. Now, software piracy is actually the illegal reproduction and distribution of the software applications. Generally, softwares are to be bought. It's a product that we generally get it in the market as well as in the internet, where we have to pay the price and you will get the software. But some of the people, some of the illegal person, the hackers, what they do is they create the duplicate of that software and they distribute it illegally in the market. So this particular process is called as software piracy. Now, software piracy will have a very, very bad impact on the economy. It will lead to different job loss and the revenue loss to the software companies. So software companies will have a huge loss due to the software piracy. And there are several different kinds of software piracy. Now, all the time it's not like copying and selling in the market. There are other forms of software piracy as well. So we are going to discuss that one by one. The first type of software piracy is called as end user piracy. Now, what happens in the end user piracies is actually all the software are licensed. When you buy a software from the market, you will be getting a CD key or the product ID or something like that. Then when you put that, your computer will have that particular software installed, that is authorized. You are authorized to use. But if I make the copy of that, and if I if I give it to somebody else, or if I sell it, then I am making the duplicate of the software illegally. So I am unauthorized. I am not authorized to make the copy of that software, because in that software, whenever I buy the software, that time only there will be a kind of agreement, and that agreement says that I am not allowed to make the copy of that software. So this kind of piracy is generally called as a end user piracy. The second type of piracy is called as internet piracy. Now when you go to the internet and search for some kind of software, you'll be getting hundreds of software in the internet, which you can download and we can use. But that particular softwares are all the unauthorized copy of the software available in the internet, and when you are using that, you are doing the internet piracy. The next type is called as the pre-installed software piracy. Now pre-installed software piracy is the kind of software piracy that is being done by the manufacturer of the computer itself. Like the software company and the computer hardware company are two different companies. Now hardware company, when they manufacture the computer, when they manufacture the CPU or the monitor or the hard disk and all, they will procure the software from another company, that is the software making company. Now when the software making company gives the software to the computer manufacturer, first they will install it in one computer, and when they will make another computer, they will install the same software in another computer also. So it goes on and on. Actually they have got the license for only one computer, but they are putting it in more than one computer. So this kind of piracy is generally called as the pre-installed software piracy. And this pre-installed software piracy is done by the manufacturer of the computer, where they illegally install and install the software in more than one computer. Next one is counterfeiting. This counterfeiting is making the duplicate CDs. Like when we buy a software from the company, it comes in the form of a CD or the DVDs. Now when we make the copy of that and sell it in the market at a very cheaper price, low price, that particular thing is called as counterfeiting. So counterfeiting is something like making the duplicate of something and selling it in the market. We get several different kinds of product in the market which is generally duplicate in nature. And lastly we have got the online auction piracy. This online auction piracy is a way of selling the duplicate software basically. Actually they are not allowed to sell the software in the internet. So if that particular kind of software is sold in the market, basically at a very cheaper price, which is never authorized to be resold by any third party. Suppose one company makes a software, second person buys that software, and these two have got the agreement that they will not be allowed to sell it to the third party. That means if I am buying, I cannot sell it to another party, I cannot resell it. But what is happening, I buy the software and I am selling that software, the copy of that software through the internet to third person. This particular kind of software are called as the online auction piracy. And if somebody is doing online software piracy, then there is no warranty protection. So this is the limitation of the online software piracy, and this particular process may contain a lot of virus. So whenever you are downloading a software from the internet illegally, that might contain a lot of virus in it. So these are the different types of computer piracy, computer software piracy. So I'll be covering the other topics in my next video. Till then, stay safe and stay happy. Goodbye.